I am super excited to introduce my guest. He's a multi-talented lead producer, executive producer, and actor. He's got upcoming roles in the highly anticipated film Skeleton in the Closet alongside Terrance Howard and Cuba Gooding Jr., and Darkness of Man, where he shares the screen with Jean-Claude Van Damme. I want to welcome the talented Randall J. Bacon to the podcast. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you, Billy. Thank you for having me. I'm a
it's good
big fan of your show. Big fan of you, Billy. Big fan of Billy Gallo. It should be your introduction.
So, you know, I created a podcast to inspire young artists to follow their dreams, right? You know, if a kid like me can come out to Hollywood at 18 with $200 in my pocket, a one-way ticket, didn't know a soul out here, and make the dream a reality. You know, if a kid like you can go, you know, be producing some big movies now, I mean, you're living the dream. So, I mean, if we can do it, you know, why can't the listener out there? So I'd like to go to the beginning. Like, when did you know you wanted to be an actor?
You know what? Like, to be God honest truth, I've never thought about acting growing up. Like, I thought it was cool watching movies and things of that nature, but I was a sports guy, and you know, I kind of moved around different family members and lived in different areas. So I guess as a kid, I had to adapt a lot because I lived in different areas. You know, I lived with different ethnicities of people. You know, I was born in San Jose, lived in Salinas, Monterey, Sacramento, Los Angeles, so kind of bounced around a lot. So I had to adapt a lot. But, you know, playing sports and pursuing sports with the, you know, just with everything I had, my whole heart, and not being able to get to its highest peak of the NFL. I was just fortunate to take that same energy, that same aggression, and cross it over into something else.
So you were quite a football player. I mean, you broke all kinds of records. Were you running back?
Yeah, I was running back. Yep.
So, I mean, I read somewhere you broke all kinds of records. What are some of those records you broke?
Yeah, I mean, in high school, I turned a lot of heads. You know, I was a sophomore on varsity, so I was a pretty big kid. And, you know, there's a running back by the name of Ontario Smith, who is, he used to play for the Vikings. He's out of Sacramento, California. I broke one of his records, and it was a single game rushing record. I had 393 yards on 27 carries. Wow. And that was just, he had a lot of records. Like, he had touchdown records, everything of that nature. But I broke his single game rushing record. And once I did that, I kind of had a lot of eyes on me. And I always knew that I had the ability to perform at a high level, but that was the first time I put it on stage. So for me, that was my introduction to performing, I would say, at a high level.
And how do you feel football has helped with your acting career?
I mean, you know, to be a good actor, and I wouldn't even just say a good actor, but to understand the game that you're playing, it's a lot of hours, a lot of practice, and then same thing, taking that leap of faith, and just going for it. I really didn't have football was my plan A, and then I didn't have a plan B. So I guess acting was my plan B, and I just took that same energy and crossed it over, if that makes sense.
Joe, at what point did you say, okay, well, you know, I'm done with football, now I'm going to pursue acting?
I think when I was doing stunts for a commercial, and I was doing stunts, and I got a SAG card, and I looked at the SAG card, and I was just like, damn, I better learn how to act, because I got this card, and I'm very much a perpetrator if I can't act. So, you know, I could perform, you know, pay me to do a backflip. I'll go bust a backflip, you know, for $500. You know, I would do auditions, and at the end of each audition, I'll hit a backflip in my commercial auditions. I don't know. It was just like this thing I did, you know. Some people probably thought it was really weird, and then some, it caught their attention. Especially for the athletic ones. So, but once I got the SAG card and I realized people make a living doing this, I took it more serious. And then I started training different classes. You know, I trained at, when I first got here, I trained at a spot, like I think it was Aaron Spicer's studio, because it was right down the street from my house. And then From there, I went to City College of Los Angeles. They had like a theater program. I took some classes there. Just like same thing, I moved over here to Redondo Beach, Manhattan Beach area, and I met Billy Gallo and trained with you, which was, to be honest, no offense to all the other acting teachers, but out of all of them, you had the most screen time. Like you had the biggest career from any acting coach I ever worked with. So I was inspired, working with you. It was pretty amazing. It was amazing too, because you got after it like you would, like a football player would get after it. That's what, that's what, yeah, man, I don't even get emotional, but yeah, you have a lot of heart, Billy. You have a lot of heart, man, and it showed. I think when I first came to your class, she was like, it's like I built this class for you. I was like, I'm looking for a school, and you're like, I built this for you. And the time I did spend with you, I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot. I learned how to put it all out there on the line, just like when I was playing football. So I would say to anybody out there that wants to pursue a career like Billy Gallo's or Randall Bacon's, or whoever the next guy is that's crossing these feats of haters and doubters, and people think it's impossible to do. I think you really just have to go hard in the paint, however that is. If it's with your business, if it's with your acting, you're going to class, you're taking risks when you're auditioning. I mean, you're not playing it safe. That's what you kind of taught me. So
yeah, safe is boring, dangerous, vulnerable, truthful. That's exciting.
Yeah.
And so leaving a piece of your soul behind in that friggin' room, that's when they go, oh, who is that? Because you're not playing it safe. It's big, bold, strong choices. And you're doing it. And I love it. And listen, I remember when you knocked on my door, and I remember, you kind of needed guidance. And I did build this place for you. When I was in here, 9 years ago with the sledgehammer, tearing out walls and building the theater, I didn't know who would come. I'm blessed that I've had thousands of actors come knock on my door, and I've gotten to be the guide and show them, the path. And I love my actors actually apply the stuff that I've taught them, and they actually go out there and they make, become working actors. That's what you did. I mean, we built you a demo reel, right? And when you started booking stuff, and projects, and you started creating your own projects, and you started producing, and so can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, being just all around type of person, individual, right? I have trouble just focusing on one thing. Let's go back to what I was kind of doing. I had good bookings through a lot of the sports things, a lot of this, a lot of the football stuff, anything that was physical. But one thing that you kind of helped me learn was to take it to the next level as far as with a partner in a scene, and just really hone in. And it wasn't just about being athletically gifted or whatnot. It was about like the backstory of that's a real person, and the stakes are high. But it's I took that and implemented it in business too, because doing commercials, it's like you're a treasure hunter. Like you might be broke for a minute, but then you come up on a treasure, and what are you going to do with that? So I decided to take funds and put it into film. And I learned, because I lost money. I lost a good amount of money. I lost money one time. And then, after that, I never, knock on wood, I never lost again, and, having the ability to be resourceful and put your own funds in projects. I don't care if it's $1,000, these productions, they need help sometimes. Stuff happens, COVID happens, they lose a day. There's been times where friends was doing a project, and I said, hey man, I know you guys are, you guys are probably lost some money. Here, I can contribute, invest $2,000. Let me get this role, and I can invest this much, and we'll do a deal where if the film is successful, then I'll get paid back that money plus a percentage. And that's part of the game too, is risking your livelihood on yourself, betting on yourself.
Yeah. It's amazing what you've done. I mean, you've literally taken it to the next level. You know, I mean, I preach to my actors all the time. You want to create your own projects. You don't be waiting for the phone to ring. You want to create. You want to be the guy. You know, you want to turn the desk and be you want to come work for me guy. You know,
Sure.
Instead of the actor with the hand out going, hey, please, can I have a part? You know, now you're in a power position. Now you're working with, you know, Cuba Gooding, Academy Award winner Cuba Gooding Jr. You're working with, you know, Terrance Howard that I work with on Crash. You know, you're working with A-list actors, right? You're side by side with them. You know, you're working with Jean-Claude Van Damme. I mean, you've produced some big movies. I mean, the one you did with the actor that was also on my podcast.
Who's that? Son of the South?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucas Till, right?
Lucas Till. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't actually act in that one, but I helped that one, be brought to life. I mean, all these productions out here, independent productions these days, this space is what it is. It's independent. Like, we have to come together as a community and get these films made. So, working with the right group of people is very important, but everybody needs help. Everybody needs help, you know, bringing their dream to life. You know, somebody's dream that's in that script, you know? And I just really feel like I'm in the business of kind of helping others people's dreams come true so I can eventually help my dream come true. You know, and I don't mind being a team player for good people and good projects.
That's why you're on the Hollywood Dreammaker podcast. Because it's about making dreams come true. I mean, that's why I built the Manhattan Actor Studio. You know, I've been blessed. I've been a working actor. You know, I've had the career. All the dreams come true. But you know, when I was there and I had all the stuff and the thing, I was like, "Is this it? You know, is really, you know, is this it?" And what was missing for me is being of service. And how can I make a difference in somebody else's life?
Sure.
And I truly found that that's the secret to living, is giving and being of service and helping other people, because success leaves clues, right? So, you know, I've been blessed. Now I can show my actors, this is the path. Don't go down that alley. There's a friggin' pothole, you know. People be wary of that scam, you know, because I've been
to be honest, Billy, I don't think I've seen the same clip twice of your work. I maybe crashed twice, but every time you pop, I don't know where you get them from, but every time you pop on some of your new work, you know, I never seen it. It's always something new. I'm like, how much did this guy work? How much did you work?
I worked a lot.
Yeah.
Very blessed. I mean, I see stuff of something will pop up and I'll go, I forgot I did that project, you know. You know, I've been blessed, you know, truly blessed. But you know, for me, it's not about me. It's about we.
Sure.
You know, so I love that you're doing it. You're helping filmmakers get their projects off the ground. If they're you know, need some funds, then you're helping them out. I love that you're also using it as a way for you to put yourself in the film and get a role in the film.
Sure. I mean, look, you have to choose the right roles to work with. And choose the right people to work with. So it's been a lot of that. Whenever I lend a helping hand in one area, you know, like I would refer people to my agency, even my same type, the same type of guys, football players that want to become actors, I would refer them to my agency. And then on the other side over here, somebody would be in the producer space, producer game, and they would lend me their knowledge. Like they would be helping hand to come this way. I'm helping on one side, and I'm getting helped on this side. I try to kind of keep it going that way. I think one of the biggest things that really fulfills me is just reading a script and going like, I know somebody who was perfect for that part. And it's, you know, with these films, you have essential elements. So you have the individuals where you need their name to sell the film, you know. You need, a $5 million film.
50 Cent and Mel Gibson, right?
For example, yeah. So on that film, 50 Cent and Mel Gibson, right? They were the two essential elements. But, you know, that's a movie with over 35 cast members, 40 cast members in that movie. So you have two essential elements, and then you have 33 others that deserve an opportunity, deserve a chance. And, agents, they'll audition, some will audition for them, but sometimes you never know, man, if you can help out the project and you read the script. Look, I don't force myself on anybody. I can't force myself into a certain role that I can't play and do. But if I read the script and I see something there, it motivates me to want to get the film done. I'm part of the project, and I'm helping other actors because I'm helping other people work. So,
yeah. Now you have your whole family. I mean, you have your beautiful wife. You have 7 children, right?
Yeah. There's
and they're, God bless, and they're all kind of in the industry, right? I mean, they do.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we started in commercials because my wife was an actress and she did commercials, and we didn't trust anybody watching our kids. So, and at the time, we really couldn't afford daycare, and we didn't really trust anybody. We didn't have family here, so we ended up bringing our kids. I mean, this is when we had 3 of them. We would bring them to auditions, and we would audition, and eventually they were like, "Hey, you know what? We have a Target commercial. Like, I think you guys are a family, right? You guys are a real family." Like, yeah, we're a real family. Like, we'll bring them in. We're like, okay, cool. And the kids, we used to, when we would audition, they would sit in the room and watch us. So they already knew how to like slate and do everything else because they would watch us because we'd bring them in the room. So that's how it ended up happening. Like, we didn't have childcare. They'd come with us to auditions. Casting would see we had a family, and then we started booking family commercials, and we got known for commercials. So, my kids, we all have one agent. It's under one roof. It's not like they have different agents, and I'm trying to get them to be the next, Macaulay Culkin or something, and be a movie star. Like, we just work as a family commercials. And for the ones that want to take it to the next level, I'll probably have them come see you, Billy, if they want to take it there, and, they have that ability to. So yeah, they all work in the space.
Right.
Yeah.
Why not have that, that Coogan account and have that money be put into an account for them, so when they get older, they have their college money? Because, I mean, commercials are very lucrative. If you hit a couple of good national commercials, you can make some really good money. And if you do the right thing, what you've done with your money from your commercials is you've invested it into, becoming a producer.
Yeah, to the producing career, which could be a little scary. My wife is probably on the edge of her seat all the time. So
yeah, it's a gamble, but you're gambling on yourself, right? It just takes one, man. It just takes one film to blow up. I mean, it really takes one audition. The next one could be that, like you said, you're chasing, gold on those commercial auditions, because you never know which is the one that's going to be,
Yeah. It's truly a numbers game, man. And then at the same time, it's like we're playing sports. It's practice. It's getting up. It's, shooting them layups, when nobody's there, when you don't even look like. I've had instances where I looked at the role, I'm like, dude, like, this does not fit me in one way or another. And my wife's like, you should still just go, just show up. And then, they end up being like, hey, you'd be good for our driver, the driver part. You might not be the quirky, funny guy that we're looking for, but you look like a nice service guy. And then you end up getting the role, and, you just show up, so.
That's great. Just show up. I mean, I remember I had a Snapple commercial audition, and I was like, and I was going to blow it off, I don't really feel like going. I remember something, I was not going, but last minute I went in and I got the part, but that turned into 6 Snapple commercials, 6 national. So I was like a recurring character. I was a Snapple factory worker. So that one choice of me not going to that audition could have cost me a lot of money, because those funds were there for me when my son was born, and I got to stay home and take care of him. And I didn't have to worry about how I'm going to pay the bills because I had that Snapple money. So, show up, go. You never know. One thing leads to the next. You never know where it's going to go.
Exactly. And then, if I could give some other advice, it's just like when you guys are working with people and, you meet somebody, like, follow up with them. follow up with them. You know, if somebody has a passion to want to make film, or somebody's making film, sometimes it's actors get into the habit of like, can I be in your film, or like take my headshot, or let me send you my reel. Instead of doing that, say, you know, do you guys need help on the film? Like, how can I help this film come to fruition? And hop on that bandwagon of it, and kind of, it's an unselfish thing to do, actually, because you take yourself out of wanting to be a role, but actually wanting the film to get produced. And for me, producer, I psyched myself out. I said, I could be a producer. I'm a producer. I produce children. I produce 7 kids, me and my wife. Like, if I can produce life and sustain life, it shouldn't be hard producing a movie, you know? And that's literally how I became like a producer.
Yeah, well, listen, I produced a film, you know, I raised $2.5 million, shot a film in New York City. You know, I didn't know anything about producing. I got a book.
Yeah.
How to produce a movie. I literally read the book from New York to LA. You know, I mean, it was like, okay, I've been on many, many sets, right? But I didn't know the actual job of, you know, what a producer does. And, you know, you're doing it at different levels. You're a lead producer, an executive producer, you know, there are different types of producing. And I'm sure learning so much as you go about what that job entails, right? You know, the executive producer is one thing, you know, that's a money guy, finance guy. But, you know, a lead producer, a UPM, you know, they're all different jobs. So you're learning as you go, you know, and you learn from each and every one of these, you know, films or you work on, and you start building relationships with people. I mean, that's what it's about. This town it's about relationships. And if you find the right group of people that, you know, you can work with, I mean, you know, it's like going to war, you know, making a film is like going to war. I mean, you just made it, right? You were in the trenches in where were you? The film you did where you were in the war movie?
Oh yeah, that was with one of the guys you worked with, Louis Mandylor.
Yeah, Louis Mandylor.
Yeah, we were in Thailand. We shot one called Battle of Saipan, which is out now. And then they liked that one so much, they offered Louis a directing gig, and he directed one called 3 Days in Malay, which should probably come out in the summertime. Yeah, we're in the summertime. It should probably.
But what I'm saying is you literally, like, you were in the trenches with him, right? And he liked you. And then he created another project, and guess what? He brought you along with him for the next one, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. It's about having somebody that I can trust in the trenches, that's got my back, that's going to be on time, that's going to show up, going to be prepared.
Very true.
Professional actor, you know, those are the kind of people I need. You know, I'm losing the fight. I got to get the shot. I got to know that I can count on you, that you got my back.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, half the battle is, man, you know, just do what you say you're going to do. And if you can't do what you say you're going to do, try to do what you say you're going to do. You know, that's the biggest thing. People respect effort, you know?
Yeah. So, you know, just going back to your children in the business, if you could give advice to, you know, parents that, you know, want to have their kids in the business, what would it be?
First thing is it's hard if the parents want to have their kids in the business, right? Because that's, unless they're in the business. But if your kids want to be in the business, you know, I think the biggest thing is, and might be a hard pill to swallow, but don't rely on anybody else. Rely on yourself first. And you know, for example, if you're relying on an agent to, you know, for your kids to get an agent, you know, you may have to be the agent at first. You may have to go on LA Casting or Actors Access, and you do the self-submissions for your children, and you'll gain traction that way. And then an agent that you want to work with will eventually see you or meet you, and, you know, off to the races. I think sometimes people, they're waiting for somebody to help them when they have all of the ability to help themselves, you know.
That's great advice. I mean, that's you know, that's what I teach here. Look, you want to be an actor? Here's the path. Okay. First off, know what you're selling. You know, you're a product. You got to know your castability. Hollywood's a business. So, you know, what am I selling? So, you know, you're athletic, right? You're an ex-football player. Well, that's the door, the key that's going to get you into the door to book those commercial.
Exactly.
You're playing a football player because you already have that special skill. You have that talent. That's going to get you in the door. So know what your castability is. Truly know what that is, and then start getting pieces of material that show you doing that. Right? If you see yourself playing a police officer, well, why not have a piece of footage of you playing a police officer? Right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
give yourself a little bit of a demo reel. Who do we got there?
Oh, this is my daughter, Raina. Say hi, Raina.
Hi.
Hi.
She kind of just walked in.
Awesome. Well, you're on a podcast now.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, for sure, Billy. And it's whatever kind of crosses over too, you know, however you can find your confidence in whatever you do, try to implement that. And, you know, it might not be the same thing, but try to take that essence and just cross it over. You know, some people are great. Like I don't suck at working on cars, but some people are good at working on cars. If you're good at working on cars, you're either working on Carman all the time, have, have, some wardrobe and overalls and the work stuff and the wrench and stuff like that. And just be that guy for as long as possible, and take that essence and feel good about that because you're good at that. Like nobody else is good at that, So it's like,
Yeah, and then you take all that stuff, like you said, I mean, it's great advice for, LA Casting, Actors Access, throw up a picture in there. You don't have to invest a lot of money, get a good picture, but, have a little footage, a little demo reel up there. So if I'm a casting director and I see, your kid's picture and I go, oh, they look great. I wonder if they can act. There's a little piece, even if it's a self-tape of them acting, and I go, oh, they can act. They can say lines, great. Let me send them a self-tape audition.
Yep.
And then it's just a numbers game. You never know, that one role audition away from booking something.
Exactly. Exactly, man. And they're blessed if they can get some professional guidance from someone like you too, man. That's just open with the heart, man.
Well, thank you. So, if you can go back, let's say, and talk to the little Randall, right, and give you some life advice, what would that be?
I'd give myself some life advice. It would just stick to the course at hand, man. If it's something you want to do, don't be so focused on the short-term goals and those rewards. Just keep your head down and stay positive and, try to make it fun and have fun. You might not be happy being the superstar right away. Some people want to be a superstar right away. You might not like that. You might get that, might like it. It's a much better slow growth because you can handle what's coming at you, in that manner. So that would be my advice. That'd be my advice. Just slow down and keep going.
It's a journey, man. It's all about the journey. It's not a race, man. You got to be in it. Enjoy the journey. Be present. One day at a time.
Exactly. One day at a time.
So listen, man. I know you got to go to a football game, one of your kids' football games.
Practice. Yeah, he has his first year, man. He's been begging to play tackle football for the past 3 years, and like even in that situation, I didn't let him play the second year because I wanted to see how bad he wanted it. Now he wants it so bad. There's not going to be like, I don't want to go to practice because he's been asking for this for 3 years.
Well, that's great. I mean, I was in the same position. I got a 6-year-old. He's playing high school football.
I know he's awesome. I remember him in flag.
Yeah, that's right. We coached together in football.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I recruited you when I needed coaches.
You did. We did pretty good too.
We did. We had a good season. Randall, thank you so much for taking the time to share your wisdom and knowledge on the podcast, brother.
Oh, thank you for inviting me, Billy. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Hopefully we'll see each other soon.
Yes. Hopefully we'll see each other on set.
Yes.
That'd be great.
All right. Take care, brother.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.